This might sound like something many women aren't really into. But many women do dream about rough sex with a guy or fantasize about a man walking in, carrying her onto a haystack and getting all downright aggressive, in a consensual way, of course. Women like dreaming about a man who rips her Chanel overcoat, her Gucci tee, and her Savage X Fenty lingerie and ravages her. But for all the men out there, don't ever try doing this. In reality, she'd snip your ding-dong off before you can get past her coat. But a woman wouldn't really mind if her own man does that to her, of course. Minus the ripping of her expensive clothes. For some women, give her a few shots of Grey Goose, and she'll be all over the table. She'll be flinging clothes often after the other. But most women don't do that, even after they down an entire bottle. They're just way too inhibitive. So the next best thing, they dream about stripping. Or an audience, they especially love it when a man takes out a few notes and dangles them down her G-strings. Women do feel a tad awkward talking about it with their man, but we really think they should. That would be to fantasies with one stone. Of course, you could say that the stripper fantasy comes down to power play. Having a man literally salivating as you strip for him is pretty powerful, right? Women wonder what it would be like to be in a man's shoes. Or more precisely put, they wonder what it would be like to be in a man's boxers. They dream about stories where they could wear his long trench coat and a cap with nothing inside and take the man in the front or back. The man's obviously playing the girl here in this female fantasy. And he may not really like this much unless he's willing to walk around with a sore ass the next morning. But what's the one statement a couple who wants to make this female fantasy a reality has to use? Medic? Lubes. We're going to need a lot of lubes. Most women have dreamed of having a threesome. It might be with a woman and a man, or two other men, either way. Most women will admit to it if you push them on it. And it's right up there with the top female fantasies, despite the dreaming about it side of the equation. Most women will never actually act out their desire. The reality of having a threesome is far more complicated than you might imagine at first glance. And when it comes down to it, the hassle often isn't worth it. This is one of the bigger fantasies for women and men. And it's often about more than a threesome, maybe a foursome, maybe even more. Surprisingly, women like to dream about being involved in a group sex situation. It's usually a combination of men and women. But some may just want one or the other. Again, most women won't actually act it out, because actually dreaming about it and doing it are two totally different things. Swinging is still one of the biggest female fantasies around. In this situation, two couples swap partners and swing away, enjoying playing and watching the whole thing. Taking this fantasy a step further, it may be that a woman dreams about swinging with a couple she already knows. And maybe she fantasizes about her friend's husband. Shock, horror, right?